Turn it down. There we go.
My face right now.
I don't want to be here, and I don't want to do this.
I don't want to do this either.
Hey, everybody.
Hi, friends.
My husband just got home. Hey, Sav, what's up? There we are. You got Chick-fil-A? Did you get any for me?
He didn't get you any?
He got Chick-fil-A. He was at the gym. Hey, everybody.
I like the music you selected.
Thanks. It's like, you know, chill.
I feel like we need that.
Family. Hey, y'all. Y'all
Where
are
did we
so
even start?
off-screen Riley.
Love
To be
Off-Screen
honest,
Riley.
I'm going to start by saying we individually did our own Mallory stories for our members and did not ever plan on telling it publicly. We didn't want to do this, but we said, you know, if she mentions our names and says some stuff, then we're going to tell it. She did, so we are. And we don't want to do this. It's Saturday. We want to have a good Saturday. We don't want to do this, but we have to, and we're adults, and we're going to, because this isn't drama. This is dangerous. What she's done is dangerous, and we're going to be honest about it. And yeah.
Yeah. I think when we paint the picture, or when we classify somebody sharing their experience or their story as drama, I think that specifically is very dangerous. We're basically discrediting somebody's experience. And I think that that's a very dangerous thing. I think drama is, when we say that, when people say, oh, this is drama, I think that in a sense, it is a way to not want to look at what's really going on. And I think that's dangerous.
Yeah. Yeah. Santa, no, silly. It's only drama if it happens in our community, but it's totally different and we call it the Huns for the exact same behavior. How hypocritical would it be for us to not call out someone in our own community for this behavior? That's the same thing going on in MLMs. If you think that we need to be quiet about this because it causes drama, then you don't actually care about anti-MLM at all. You just like it for the fun, interesting, weird part of it. That weird, like, I'm in it just to see, like, people get roasted or something like that. That's not what it is. It's literally accountability.
Yeah.
Calling this drama is gaslighting from other parties. Doxing is dangerous. It absolutely is, and you should go see DC's video about it, by the way.
Yeah, you should. Absolutely. Go subscribe. By the way, if you have a YouTube channel, like, comment.
Absolutely.
So that we can, like, hey, like, go follow other content creators as well. I think it's really important.
Yeah, say, hey, this is my YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Giving you a space here to talk about that. See a lot of people in the back. Neither of us wanted. I actually wasn't going to watch the videos at all. I told Aaron, I was like, I'm not watching them. I'm not in the mental. I'm literally going to cry.
Are you gonna cry?
I think so.
You're allowed to.
I don't want to. I am not in the mental headspace to do this. Thanks, baby.
Is that a chicken nugget?
Yeah.
That was the cutest thing ever.
I don't want to do this, but I have to because I'm not going to let her do this shit anymore. I know people are tired of this, but I don't care if you're tired of it. It's dangerous and it's wrong. So we're going to talk about it. And if you don't want to be here, you don't have to. But if you want to know the story that happened with us, you should be here.
I think it's also important to understand that JJ and I have been so quiet about our individual interactions with Mallory, and why are we going live together talking about it? Because our stories and our interactions do this. And so it's when we did our members only live, we did it individually, but the stories do this. And so it's just
Yeah, we
easier.
get to parts and say, I'm going to let Erin share that part on her
Yeah.
live. If she, she chooses to share it, I'm not sharing that story. My tears.
That's
Chicken
your
nugget
sauce?
What? I don't know. Riley got me a salad with chicken nuggets in it. Thanks, babe.
Hey, Karina. Yeah, you're just like Taylor said, your emotions are completely valid. That goes for all of you in the comments, yeah.
Thanks, Megan. I think that's well said. Megan. I appreciate that.
Good reminder. I think that my ownership in all of this is kind of what Megan's talking about. I think for me, I set boundaries, not quickly, but like I watch, and we'll get into this, but like I watch and watch and watch, and I see certain things and I'm like, yeah, no, this is not somebody I want to associate with, and I set boundaries. However, I look back now and I can own the fact that I didn't speak up before and other people have been hurt, and I don't like that.
I like what Danny said. It's not drama if it's truth about someone's bad behavior. So we'll start from the beginning, like very beginning, like over a year ago, or about a year ago, I think maybe a little less than a year, like 11 months. So I told Erin one day, and I said, Erin, oh, Devaney, thank you. I said, Erin, I have this weird feeling about Mallory, and I'm uncomfortable about it, and I wish I didn't. I don't know why I have it, and I don't want it to be there. Like, I want it to go away.
Yeah.
And Erin did not have the same feeling. However, she said, even though I don't feel the same, your feelings are valid. And as a good friend, because we don't agree on everything, by the way, codependent, but we don't agree on everything.
Yeah, no.
Like, there are things that we talk about, and like, if she says something that I'm like, wait, am I offended right now? I'll say something back. I'm like, hey, and that happened the other day, but I was just being emotional. However, she still gave me the reason she said it and was respectful and validated how I felt. And so she did this then, about 11 months ago, I think. And so I said, okay. She's like, feel the way that you feel. And we'll just see, right? We'll just see what happens. And so I was grateful that she did that. And then it went from there. Pretty early on, we had an experience with her in a group chat that we didn't like. So Erin, if you want to.
Yeah. So we were in a group chat with a bunch of other creators. I'm not going to obviously name those creators because it's not really relevant to this story, to this experience that we had. However, I had a private conversation with another creator who was at the time self-promoting, and I had a private conversation, and this creator was brought up in this chat, and I shared my experience in this chat, and the next thing I know, I had screenshots in this group chat with a bunch of other creators of the private conversation I had with another creator. So that's wrong. And that made me very uncomfortable. And I find it interesting now. I'm going to skip ahead just a little bit. I find it really interesting now that Mallory is taking the posture of, well, I'm not going to share the screenshots of the private conversation, but you did it to me. You went to the other creator who shared, for whatever reason, our private conversation, and that was shared in a group chat without my permission. And I think that is wrong. That's just my opinion on it. I didn't like that. That was very uncomfortable. That felt very intrusive, especially because, I was very kind in that private message with this other creator because everybody's voice matters in this movement. And so it behooves all of us for people to grow. That's a really beautiful thing. And so there was a sense of violation that I experienced from my private conversation being shared in a group setting without my consent. And to me, that spoke volumes. I didn't like that. And that's just the first thing. You know, that made me extreme. Yeah, Karina. Yeah. So that was shared in the group message or group chat. And I said, hey, can we please not like share that screenshot? Like, can we not share that with other people? That's a private conversation I had with somebody. And it just made me very uncomfortable. Her response was, oh, and I don't remember, let me be really clear. I don't remember if she said, oh, I didn't share that with anybody else, or I won't share that with anybody else. But not that much longer after that statement, however she worded that, whether it was past tense or present. I'm talking with Karina, so I'm glad that she said that, because I wasn't gonna obviously name her or whatever. But Karina was like, hey, I saw that conversation that you had with the other creator. And I was like, what? Who sent that to you? And she was like, oh, Mallory sent that to me. And I was like, what? I went back to the group chat and read what Mallory said, oh, you know, however it was worded. And I'm like, did she just lie to me? So one, I felt already violated with somebody that I considered a co-worker at the time. And then there's the potential of, did she just lie to me in front of everybody? Did this just happen this way? And so I immediately was guarded, because if there's one thing I can't stand, like, don't lie. We don't have to agree on everything. That's okay. Julie Jo and I don't agree on everything. You know, we're still friends. I respect her opinions. She respects mine. But we're not going to lie to one another. Like, don't lie about it. So to me, that showed me at the time everything that I needed to know. And so I immediately at that point started to kind of remove my energy, because I was like, well, you're showing me things that I don't agree with character-wise. And so, yeah, agreed, Mackenzie. Once broken, it's hard to come back from.
Yeah. I do want to say, before we get started, I haven't seen it yet, but just no ad hominem attacks to this person. Like, let's be respectful. You're welcome to share your story and like what you've experienced or what you thought about the whole thing. Yeah. But let's just respect her, because she's still a human with feelings. So I haven't seen anything crazy like that, but I just wanted to make it clear.
Yeah. This is not meant, I don't know how I want to word this, JJ. This is not meant to attack her or any of those things. This is meant to share our experience. We obviously weren't going to do any of this, but if she's going to do a live and mention, you know, my name and JJ's name, we're going to tell the whole story. Yeah. And Karina said, keep in mind, at the time, I think we just clicked it at the same time, JJ.
We did, yeah.
Keep in mind, me and Aaron were just getting to know each other at the time. Yeah. That was when we first started kind of chatting. So that was the kind of the first thing, which in my opinion that's kind of a major thing.
It's a big thing.
Yeah. You know, trust was an issue at that point. And
we didn't tell her. We didn't, like, neither of us said, hey, we caught you lying. We were just like, okay, we're just going to back off. First off, it's not our responsibility to say, hey, you're a liar. Absolutely not. That's on her. We are backing away, though, and we did.
Yeah. And so I don't know the time frame on this. I love analytics. I love studying and seeing, like, the trends and growth. And I love those kinds of details around social media, around YouTube and all of that stuff. Thank you for this message, Chrissy. That's amazing. Or this comment. And this conversation, we were having conversations about analytics and engagement and just different things like that. And the next thing I know,
I want to address this really quick.
Okay.
She's going to take this as an attack because people are telling their story about what they've experienced. This is not an attack. She made a video using our names, talking about a situation that she didn't share fully. And so it's our time to share our story. This is not an attack on her. If she feels as it's an attack on her character, she needs to look inward. Because she needs to maybe see and look at her character and go, okay, there's something I need to fix. By the way, I will tell my story later with this, and I'll let Erin continue, but she has yet to apologize to me for what she's done to me. And if you know what she's done, you know that's pretty bad. So go ahead, Erin. Sorry.
Yeah. No, you're fine. You're fine. And so the next thing I know, in this group chat, there were several creators in there, but there were screenshots of only a certain amount. Myself, JJ, Mallory, and there was another creator also that their engagement rates, it was taken like from Social Blade or whatever, and it was a screenshot of all of our engagement rates that were dropped in the chat. And it made me even more uncomfortable than I already was feeling, because I was like, this feels like a competition. And while we're talking about totally nerdy analytical stuff, which I love, I'm not competing with anybody. And so it felt very intrusive. It felt very, look at me, because at the time I think she had like a 7% or something engagement rate. And it was almost like, look at your engagement rates and look at mine. And by the way, JJ has the most phenomenal engagement rate. I'm just going to shout her out for that because it's amazing. She doesn't look at it, but like every so often her and I will talk about it. And she's like, so, and I'm like, do you know that your engagement rate is goals? But that's a private conversation. And I would never share that in a group setting. It just felt very, very much like we were supposed to compete with one another, and that's not how I operate. That's not how any of this feels to me, and that made me very uncomfortable. And I remember JJ and I had a private conversation about that, and I was like, okay, wait, am I like wrong for feeling this way? This feels very uncomfortable. I'm not trying to compete with anybody, so I don't know if you want to speak on that, JJ.
Yeah, I mean, at that point I wasn't super active, I don't think, in that group message, but Erin told me about it, so I went and looked. This was like right before I left, I think, the group message. So I went and looked, and it was just kind of weird, like a kind of a competitive thing. And like, we're not trying to compete with anyone. This isn't a competition. I don't know. Maybe to her it was, but it was just very weird, and I don't know what it was about. Maybe it's because Erin and I weren't like buddy with her. I'm speculating at this point as to why she posted it, but I look at my lawyer words from the trial that recently happened. Thank you, Emily. But like, I don't know. I was kind of thrown off by it, and it just kind of the only people I've seen sent screenshots of my engagement rates and demos and stuff are my sponsors. And that's how it should be. Those are the only people that I've sent stuff to as well, are the people who I am, what is it called? Affiliates for, or a possible sponsor. Like that's how it goes. You don't really do that. But like what Mark said, I think is important. Mark, if you could get her to do that, I think that'd be great. But I have a feeling that she's not going to want to. And yeah, Mark, they are absolutely exhausting. I am exhausted from the year that I've had in general with BS. But especially this, like, it is difficult even for me to keep up with when a bunch of people started coming out about all of it. And about their story. But I know that everyone's story is important, even hers. Even if it's not always true, it still is important. And, you know, this is one of those things that if you don't want to listen to it, you really don't have to. But everything that has been said and is going to be said is important to the conversation when it's coming from a creator who's had an experience with her. So,
yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. So at that point I was like, well, this isn't the space for me. Like, I don't like how this feels.
I thought she did this, actually.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The live that she did back in February, trying to normalize her competitive behavior. Yeah, where she was asking, I don't think I watched this one, but I think she was asking, you know, is there competition between creators or something like that? And she was like, yeah, absolutely. And I'm like, I'm not trying to compete with anybody. I'm trying to do my own thing, stay in my own lane and do that type of stuff. But yeah, so that was that. Then when the Empire recap video came out, some of my members had sent that to me earlier in the morning, and Aaron, have you seen this? And we were talking about it in the Discord and stuff like that. And later on in that day, and I talked about this obviously on, she was trying to normalize jealousy of other creators' success. Yeah, which no, like absolutely not. And I was planning on doing some sort of a reaction video to it. I wasn't really exactly sure how I wanted to do that because of the music that was played on it. And she messaged me while I had like an hour and a half video I was editing. Like, it was the longest video I've ever done on my channel. And I was right in the middle of editing it. I wanted to get it out. I wanted to have it available to my members that day. And so I was really focused on that. And she messaged me. And the way that I describe this is she came in hot in my inbox. So it was something like, hey, what is this? And sent me the link to the YouTube video. Is this her $11,000 mastermind? And I said, no, that's not the mastermind. This is a recap of Empire U or whatever. And she started to ask me more questions. Well, it's my mistake for even opening up Instagram messages when I'm trying to focus on what I was doing. I know better than that. And so I told her, I was like, hey, I'm right in the middle of editing a video. I'll get back to you later. And she was like, hey, don't worry about it. I'll just message somebody else who also used to be in the Empire. I'll just message her and get the information. I was like, cool. Okay. So that was that. And then after the fact, I was like, wait. I felt used, I guess is the best way to say that. After I finished the video and I went back to the message and I was really kind of processing, I was like, so she just wanted me to give her all of the information. Now, keep in mind, there are plenty of creators that have done videos on Jessie Lee and the Empire prior to me coming on the scene. I do not gatekeep. I do not think that I am the only one that can put out content about the Empire or prove it as a whole. In fact, I think it's really important that everybody covers it, just like any of the other companies. It wasn't about for me, it wasn't about getting the video out first. It was about the courtesy of, hey, are you planning on doing a video? Do you have a second? Can I ask you some questions about this? That kind of courtesy was not extended, and I don't like that. So you put into account the other things that already happened, and then you add this on top of it. And I was like, I just don't like how this feels. And here's the thing, guys. If something does not feel right to you, you do not owe anybody an explanation. You don't have to explain, hey, I caught you in this, and I did this, and I did that. First of all, if this is the beginning of a friendship, the beginning of the friendship should not be this difficult. And so at that point, I was like, do I say something? Do I not? And there were some exchanges and lots of voice messages. And it didn't feel right to me. I don't mind answering any questions people have about the Empire, what they're doing, how they're doing it. I don't have, I'll answer all of the questions because I think more people need to. But the problem with that specific scenario was I felt Like she was coming and wanted all of the information right now so that she could get the video out first. This is something that I sat back and watched, in my opinion, her do over and over again. She had to, again, in my opinion, be the one that was getting the videos out first, whatever the controversy, whatever the chaos was. And while that's fine and dandy, that's not how I operate. When I left MLM, I left that kind of chaotic energy behind, and I'm extremely protective of that for myself. I can only speak for myself in that scenario. And so for me, I was like, no, I'm not doing this. And so I don't know if you want to elaborate on that, the Empire U video, the message you sent, or, you know.
Yeah, I do think a lot of it was building up as well. I don't think it was just like that one situation that caused us to feel this way. Now, she had done this kind of weird thing with us when if she wanted something from us or wanted to know something, a lot of times she would do something kind right before it or say something nice before it, and then ask us for the thing later on that day, the next day, something like that. Kind of like what Savannah was talking about that she went through. She made it seem like you're upset about that she posted the Empire video without your permission. Okay, well, so
Chelsea also put out a video about Empire, the Empire U, and I watched it and commented and support that too. So that's not accurate.
Yeah, but Chelsea also didn't go to Erin and ask for other information to try to get stuff from her so that she could use the stuff that Erin might have used in her video to make Chelsea's video better. Like we don't do that. Now if I make an It Works video and there's something specific that I need to know about the video, I'll ask Jessica, but I'm likely not going to. Like I probably still wouldn't, to be honest. But if there was like a big It Works thing that Jessica's upline was a part of, that Jessica went through so much, if something like that happened, I probably would wait for Jessica's video to come out about it and not reach out to her when I'm making a video about it to try to get all the details I can.
Yeah.
Like there's lack of courtesy. But anyway, I wanted to read what I sent her. I actually didn't hear. Were we going to react to her actual video? I didn't even watch it all. I didn't hear exactly what she said I said, so I'm just going to straight up read it. I mean, I don't need to post it, but I'm just going to straight up read it. If you want to see it, whatever, you can ask her or something. I said, hey, please know I don't want you to share this message with anyone. It's between you and me.
For just a second?
Yeah.
The reason that JJ has said that and the reason that I have said that to Mallory myself is because I'm setting the expectation because she shared my private conversation that I had with somebody else that in my opinion should not have been shared with Mallory in the first place.
Yes.
In a group setting. So it is clearly saying, this is my boundary. Please don't share this because it's a private conversation that you and I are having. Because there was the history of that happening. It wasn't about controlling or, preventing her from talking about it. It was because she showed us in the past that she shares private conversations that, in my opinion, have nothing to do with her. And again, let me speak very clearly. That conversation should have never been shared with Mallory in the first place.
Oh, yes. Yeah, that conversation between you and that creator. That's true. So I said that, this is between you and me, don't share it, because I know she shares conversations. She has done it before. She did it to Erin. And also I want to make a point with what Claire said. Well, and it wouldn't have been hard for her to do her own digging on the Empire video, right? I'm being speculatory. Lawyer stuff. Just kidding. I think I can't stop watching law stuff from Emily D. Baker. But I think that she wanted to get it straight from Erin instead of doing her own digging so that she could get the video out as quick as she could. So she's using Erin for her knowledge and throwing it out there. And she's not going to give Erin credit because when has she given anyone credit, in my opinion? And so I said, I'll read it from the beginning again. Hey, please know I don't want you to share this message with anyone. It's between you and me as creators. I want to chat because I know you asked Erin about the Empire U recordings. Did you chat with Erin about posting this? Not that you can't do video about this, but as a courtesy, someone who's experienced it and allow her to put it out first and have conversation with her. She's been planning this video and it's huge for her. It's already out, but I know this was big for her, and you probably just didn't realize it. This isn't me gatekeeping. This is me knowing my friend was hurt by this person so much, and everyone knows it, and she really wanted to put it out, and because we all know that not everyone will watch it twice. Like, I was really just kind of guarding Erin. I was upset about everything. I was upset that she reached out to Erin to get the knowledge. And so I said, like, hey, you ever thought about it that way? I wasn't being rude or hateful. And she said, and I do like that she said this, and I can respect her for that. Well, she said, does Erin know you reached out? I want to reach out to her, but not if she didn't know. I don't want to create any tense situation. So I respect her for asking me that. And she said, I said, hey, yeah, I did tell her I reached out to you. She said, okay, cool. Yeah, that was my response to her, or response to the situation. You basically asked her, she asked Erin if it was okay to post. Yeah, no, of course she said that. She's not going to share the actual message. She did it by memory. I honestly, though, I don't know what she said. Like, I didn't hear her say the message. We stopped right before that because it was like, I don't know, 10 minutes before we started, and there was so much that I was talking about with it all.
And it's not about asking for permission to post something. Like, what? Like that? No.
And I even said, I was like, you can make the video. Like, that's fine. But I also didn't get across.
It would have been done.
Yeah, I also didn't get across well. And I didn't really even get at the time of why I felt so angry about it.
Yeah.
You know, it's like the same thing. You were like, why do I feel so angry about this? And it kind of came to that realization of, oh, well, she used Erin to try to get her knowledge instead of looking up herself, of course, in our opinion, to get it out as quickly as she could. And I just think that's a lack of courtesy and kind of crappy. Like, I wouldn't, if I did that to another creator, first off, tell me, holy shit, that's awful. But I don't think I ever would.
Yeah.
That's not okay.
And I mean, being courteous is being human.
Yeah.
You know, like, I don't ever message somebody expecting them to drop everything and answer my questions. I don't even know if I'm wording that correctly, but I definitely felt like she just wanted the information so that she could get the video out and be the first one to report on it. And it, to me, I'm like, I'm not competing with anybody. Yeah. I mean, you want to put a video out, put a video out.
Chelsea put one out. We don't, like, great. Like, it didn't bother us. Like,
I think it's great. I think it's the more people that can cover these MLM companies, like, awesome. I think that's great. More people need to cover them, you know? So it's just, for me, it's the lack of courtesy. It's the lack of, and maybe that's not even the right phrase.
Well, I
felt like she was using me for my information because she wanted to get it out first. And that doesn't feel good to me.
Yeah, I like what this person said. No disrespect, but if we're all anti-MLM, why does it matter who puts it out first? It doesn't matter at all. But
it doesn't.
But apparently to her it did. Because she was trying to get the knowledge that she could have taken time to look up herself from Erin. I just, to me as a creator, I know how that feels, and I know that we put in hard work for our videos. So to try to like skip the knowledge aspect of it and putting time into, you know, doing your video well, researching it well, she skipped it to use Erin for that. And she was not going to credit her because, like someone said earlier, she did not credit Chelsea. She says, viewer, for me, it was her not crediting Chelsea's video when the Angelique stuff broke, when Mallory was on Roberta's podcast. That really rubbed me the wrong way. She doesn't, in my opinion, I have never seen her credit people. Now, again, I don't watch a lot of her videos just because, like, I don't, and I haven't watched many of them, or a lot of them, or even a little of them. I think I've watched just a couple, just because I don't watch a whole lot of anti-MLM stuff. Because when you're doing it as like a job, it's not always fun to sit around and take in only anti-MLM.
Yeah, agreed. We have to have our own time to do whatever. Oh my God, in Erin I trust. That's such a kind comment. Thank you.
And I know that some people might not understand that. They might still think y'all were gatekeeping. I mean, we just weren't. If we were gatekeeping, we should have messaged Chelsea. But we weren't. And Erin wasn't. And these, as a creator, if you create stuff, you understand what we're talking about.
Yeah.
You get it. And if you don't, and you don't understand, and you still feel like it's gatekeeping, that's okay. That's for you can keep that.
Yeah.
But just know the lack of knowledge in creating what it's like is going to hinder you from seeing it how it really is. Now, I don't think you'll actually think it was gatekeeping, but just for those who do, because there are some of her followers who, you know, do think so.
Yeah. You want to finish reading the text that you were reading?
Oh, I already did.
Oh.
William posted, I think very few videos actually post their references in their description. No, it's just about crediting. Like, if, like, I'll credit Aaron, like, if Aaron gives me information, or, I mean, it's pretty simple. I've talked to him, like, oh, Chelsea says this, or, like, look at Chelsea's video about, and I actually did that recently about the video I just posted today. It was about Jessie Lee's bathtub video, and I was like, Jessie Lee will do this to grab attention. Go check out Chelsea's video if you want to watch it, because Chelsea made a video on it. It's courtesy, and if you don't have that, then that's not good as a creator, in my opinion. Maybe people don't care about that, but I do.
Yeah, so that was the experience in the group chat. Obviously, I'm not gonna mention the other creators again in that chat because it had nothing to do with it. But this, for me, was a series of events that I was like, I don't like this. This makes me uncomfortable. I don't like this. This makes me uncomfortable. I don't like this. This makes me uncomfortable. And so that it wasn't like a one-time thing. And then I set a very strict boundary. I do set very strict boundaries, and I'm allowed to do that. And just like I said earlier in the video, if something doesn't feel right to you, you do not owe anybody an explanation.
Mm-hmm.
You don't owe anybody an explanation. And at that time, I didn't want to speak out of frustration. I didn't want to speak from a place of I'm still processing this and I don't really know how I feel about it. Because there's a certain amount of, am I just feeling this way? Just like JJ was talking about at the beginning of this, and she was like, I just had this feeling, and I talked to Aaron about it, and Aaron didn't feel the same way. I was questioning that for myself. Like, did this really just happen this way? Like, this feels very uncomfortable, and I'm not really sure why. And I will always take time to process before I say anything.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah.
It may take me a long time. Yeah, you know, but that's how I know that's who I am. And at that point, you know, it felt like this is not somebody that I need to be in communication with. And I don't need to explain that.
Oh, I like this. First, I want to say, yeah, I like what you're saying. Like, it makes sense that you contact with direct knowledge to ask them. Absolutely. And I mean, I've asked Aaron stuff before, but like you said, giving credit is a must. Like, it's, yes, and contacting them, not because you can't look it up yourself, but because you want to get it out first is also another layer. And I like what Eliza Ham says. If you're a person that screams about community, then you should be crediting people. Yeah. It's true.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess the next thing is my thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
For me, that was it. For me, that was like, at that point, I had already removed my energy. I wasn't really watching her stories or her content. Around that time, or soon after that, was when my dad had open heart surgery. And so she had reached out a couple times, which I was grateful for. She did tell me at one point, you know, that my story was beautiful. I thanked her for it. But I had already had, after seeing these things transpire, look at me using a big word on a Saturday.
That's smart.
This was not somebody that I wanted to associate with because I didn't feel comfortable. So
yeah,
I removed myself, and now JJ.
I really hate talking about this, and I'm gonna cry because like
it sucks.
This past year has been really difficult for me.
Yeah.
With harassment and whatnot from
doxing.
Like, from certain people. And I've made it clear before, like, I don't want my last name out there. I sure as don't want my school out there. Like, just respect privacy. I mean, that's it. And apparently, without me knowing, first off, Morrison isn't my last name, so I don't really care about the last name thing, whatever. But without me knowing, my school was on my Facebook, and I actually did not realize that. So, and I also don't go on Facebook, like I just don't use it anymore. So I did use it to post a negative, what is it called, review on someone. I mean, even though she's using my name now and is going against a cease and desist, I'm still not going to say her name. She says the R word pretty out there. She's called me the R word. So she has this like Facebook page where I went and I said, this person uses the R word. And I gave her like a 1-star type of thing from my Facebook account. And what I did was I later deleted it, but it was up there for, I think, like a couple months before I deleted it, because I realized she's dangerous and maybe it's not good that I used this Facebook account to do this. So next thing I know, when all of this stuff is going on, multiple videos made about me from like 2 or 3 of the same people, multiple stories. I get a message from someone who helped me with documentation on it, because I was getting it. At that time, I was starting to get a lawyer, and they sent it to me that she got my school, blasted it out there, and asked people to report me for, I don't know. At one point, it was me being like, she could never trust me if she was a patient who scanned her or something like that, or like that I'm racist, which she had no proof of because I'm not. Like all of these lies that she was saying. And so she's blasting my school. And so not only did she essentially dox me, but it was harassment as well, used with malice. There was malice in it because there was no actual truth shared. Like there's, and that's just a fact. Like we got a cease and desist ready. We put all the exhibits down, and my lawyer and my legal team laid it out. This is what this post means. This is what this means. This is what this, like, I mean, they were going through it. Right now, I'm talking about a different situation, and we're going to get there. It's a process. If you haven't been following me, it leads up to Mallory. Mallory hasn't used the R word. I don't think she would ever use that. I'll give her that. It's not Mallory. But it's leading up to that. Okay? So this situation has been going on for a long time. And it's kind of mixed in. So, that first person started it, and then another person, and it just, for all of 2022, pretty much. And
on multiple platforms.
Mm-hmm. So we sent the cease and desist. So throughout all of this, Mallory was in contact with me, being kind. Like, I appreciated her being there because these people also said shit about her. And so I was like, like we were kind of, I don't know, being like, we both get it, and like she would send me stuff that they would say, or she would send me a video that they made about me, and she would like say, oh, I mean, I have the receipts, but I'm not going to share them. I will if, God forbid, she tells me to. I'll blast it out there. I don't think she'd want that though, because once I shared my story, after Aaron and I had like completely nixed her out, we like restricted her. We didn't want anything to do with her. Yeah, we related to each other. I think that's well said.
Yeah.
We're going through a lot of the same things. I was just getting like the brunt end of it. And so after I shared my story about what happened, I don't know if y'all remember, but I talked about it when my lawyer said I can. And I shared about my experience with the harassment and
on a live,
and I shared the actual messages or the actual comments that had never been shared from the original person. And by the way, I'm done with the situation. This is for backstory. Leave those original people alone, okay? I know you will, but just leave them alone. So Mallory went and made, first off, I know she went to Amber because Amber told me about it and asked why Julie Jo would do that, why she'd try to take away from the comment palooza that was coming up that weekend. And then she made several stories about me, about 20 or 30, and I couldn't even finish them all because she was saying that I was using my mental health to manipulate the situation. She was saying, like, God, Aaron, I don't know. What else was she saying? Like,
it's been alleged to me that she was basically trying to shame you for telling your story, and using your mental health as a weapon is essentially what was being said.
Yeah. And then pretty much finding out that she went to the person and one of the people and said, like, I don't think what Julie Jo did was right. I don't think that should have happened to you. I believe you. Like, blah, blah, blah. But even though for all those months, she was in it with me. She was there with me. She was sending stuff to me. She was saying stuff to me and, like, acting like she was supporting me. And that hurt me. So I made some stories, and I guess I could show those stories that I made. Do you think that I should?
Yeah, if you feel comfortable sharing them. And the only reason I'm saying that is because I know how emotional you were and still are about this with good reason. So, like, if you feel comfortable sharing.
Yeah, I do feel comfortable sharing. And it would just be easier for me to share it instead of try to remember what I said, because this really flusters me. And it kind of makes my heart rate go really high because it's all just like people don't understand what I went through. So let me get there. I actually didn't know Instagram archived stories until someone said it. God bless you, because I didn't save these. So I'm almost there. Give me 1 second.
Your comments, you guys, are incredible.
I'm not looking at them right now, but I appreciate it. So here.
I didn't really know how to talk about this.
Can you hear it?
So I think I'm just going to start talking and hope that it sounds okay. There is someone, and maybe more than one someone, who are anti-Muslim creators who are upset that I told my story yesterday of the hell that has been happening to me for the past 4-ish, 5-ish months. And they think that it seems as though they think that it's because, still stuck in my MLM mindset, maybe.
That's what she said.
Or I'm don't have the people around me to tell it to.
That's what she said.
You should have been hearing what I've been telling them the past months, many months. You should have heard what I've told my lawyer and my therapist. But it's not your place to shame someone for the hell that they have been going through the past 5 months. It's not your place. It's not your place to say we have one goal and that I don't get to share my story about what's been going on to me. So shame on you. Shame on you. And it's not your place to think that you can tell other people that what I did is not okay, and what I did looks like I'm in an MLM. It's not your place, and it's not okay to make people think one thing when in reality, it's not that. And, I didn't know I was going to get upset, obviously. But humans have the right to speak up when they're hurt. And around here, we don't only focus on the positive. We don't only just stay positive and stay happy all the time. That's not it. That's what we say is not okay when it comes to multi-level marketing companies, because they're always focused on the positive. What you don't see is my messages to the person I spoke about on my live, asking to squash the beef. You don't see that, and you don't see that they saw it and didn't reply and continued. They continued. You don't know what I've been through the past many months of dealing with all of this. And I'm very proud of myself for finally saying something. And if anyone out there has been in my position, good for you for saying something. You should not feel ashamed.
So that was that. I want to highlight something that someone said because I agree. Well, where did it go?
Welcome, Kaylee. I'm proud of you, friend. I know I tell you that all the time, but like, I'm
and
really
this is true. I'm fucking exhausted.
Yeah.
I'm exhausted. And it really sucked when I thought someone who was with me through it said that shit about me. And not only that, but Karina reminded me, because Karina sent me what she told her.
Can I also point out that it's the same pattern that happened between Angelique and her? I feel like we need to like address this. So in regards to the podcast, so instead of Mallory going to Angelique first and saying, hey, I have some concerns about the podcast, like, can we talk about it? She went to her stories first. So this is the same pattern. She didn't go to JJ and say, hey, like, why are you talking about this? No, she went to her stories. She went to Karina. She went to several other creators and was like, what are they talking about? And she mentions it in her Instagram live that she did that. This is the same pattern. And this is an example of, I don't even know what I want to say to that. It's just like, it's the same pattern.
Yeah. And then she told Karina, then don't forget she also told me you shouldn't make it such a big deal, that you were just making it worse on yourself. There's things that I wanted to say that I think I forgot, so I'm going to try to think about it. But
sorry, I just
so after no, you're good. At this point, we had cut her off. She was upset with us. And I think that is where some of this is stemming from, is she was upset and felt angry and wanted to get back. And again, this is speculative. So this is just what I think. I think that she was angry with me for restricting her and blocking her after the whole situation with Aaron happened and her reaction to it. And she did this to intentionally hurt me, because what other fucking reason would it be? So her goal was to hurt me, in my opinion, and I don't care if she says no, because that's a lie. Mallory, I know you're lying. Stop fucking lying about shit. And apologize. I know that you're lying. And you know that you're lying, so get it together. If she would have apologized to a lot of us from the beginning, this wouldn't be an issue. This isn't drama. It's dangerous. It's dangerous.
And an apology looks like this. I'm sorry that I did XYZ. An apology is not, hey, I'm sorry if you felt like my video, whatever. Or I'm sorry that my story made you feel this way. That's not an apology. If I hurt JJ's feelings, hey, JJ, I'm sorry that I said that. I shouldn't have said that. Period. There's no ands, buts, howevers. I'm sorry it made you feel this way. No, that's not an apology.
Yeah.
We said yeah at the same
time. And I want everyone to remember, because I know there's people who are going to watch this that want to do a video about it. I'm fucking human. And I've had a shitty year with people making shitty videos about me while they are the same kind of people and pretty much the same people. Leave me alone.
Yeah.
Leave me the fuck alone. And don't go out there and make a stupid video saying, oh, look at this drama. It's not. It's dangerous. And how hypocritical would we be if we it's a lose-lose. If we say nothing, we're not holding our own people accountable. If we say something, it's drama.
Yeah.
And I'm tired of it. And I'm going to do my own shit with my best friend. And that's part of our story. Yeah. And is there any other part that you want to add that I might have forgotten?
I think honestly that was it, because at that point, that was when we really separated ourselves. That's when we restricted. I later blocked her because the amount of messages that she sends, again, another pattern. When I watched Angelique's live on Instagram that she did, where she was showing all of the messages that she got when she clearly set a boundary and said, hey, according, like, the way that my mental health is right now, I'm not in a place where I can discuss this with you. And that boundary was not honored. if somebody does not honor your boundary, whether it is spoken or whether you just do not respond to that person, that is a boundary. And those are the very people that boundaries are set up for. If they don't respect your boundary, just know that you did the right thing by setting a boundary. If somebody is going to get so upset that you restricted them, blocked them, whatever, that they're going to go and attack you telling your story, attack you, JJ, telling your story in their stories. It's just, in my opinion, them trying to insert themselves into the narrative. It's trying to create chaos. It's trying to create, turmoil that a video can be made out of. And, JJ and I didn't want to do this. We didn't want to do this. In fact, before we even hit the live button, we were sitting here like, I don't want to do this. But at the same time, if our names are going to be mentioned, we're going to tell our truth. And that's what we're doing here.
Yeah, and there's those comments of like, why don't they just stop? Like, aren't they exhausted? Like, they've been going at it for so long, they need to like let it go. You think I don't want to? You think we wish we could just ignore the shit out of this. First off, I've been through a lot this year, which but Erin's been there every step of the way for me. And she's been through a lot, watching her best friend go through a lot. Like, I'm sure you all get that if you've had a best friend. Like, if you think you're tired, you have no fucking idea. You have no idea how tired we are. And we want it to stop. And this is us saying our piece. The only thing I ever want to hear from Mallory is an apology. That's the next thing in my inbox. And I'm not going to share it, Mallory. I just need you to own up to the shit that you did to me, because it was fucked up. What you did was fucked up. And it's really that simple. I have major depressive disorder, and my brain doesn't function how a normal brain would, but you don't see me saying like, my MVD is why I'm such a bitch sometimes, or why I go off on people sometimes. Like, it's just that. No. You don't see me saying that. Do not use your ADHD as a cop-out to apologizing and owning up for your actions. As people who have ADHD in this chat know, it could be the cause for something, but it's not the excuse for an action.
Yeah. I think that when you set a boundary,
I have talked to her, MHMG. I have talked to her, but I restricted her. And I need you to know, MHMG, I am not going to reach out to someone and ask them to apologize to me. When you were growing up and you did something wrong, did you think that person needs to reach out to me and apologize? Did your parents teach you that, or did they teach you to reach out to the person that you hurt and apologize for your actions? I think that common sense and logic will say that the person who hurt the other people should reach out and apologize. It is not my responsibility to mom her. It is not my responsibility to take her in action and make her do something. This is her. She's an adult, and she can do it her fucking self. So no, I'm not going to reach out to her and talk to her about it. I think she can be an adult and do it herself. But thank you for your comment.
Yep. Also, if you set a boundary, you're not obligated to tell anybody why you set that boundary. Your intuition, your gut, your feelings, that's enough to say, hey, for whatever reason, I'm just not feeling this person, and you're not obligated to explain that. And there was a very clear pattern for me, in my opinion, of things that made me uncomfortable. And I decided to say no thank you. And I'm not obligated to say, well, you said this or you did this, just because we're fellow content creators.
MHMG, go back to the beginning and watch. You should not say another comment, because you obviously have missed the majority of it.
Yeah, and we're not trying to cancel her. We're trying to tell our story.
Oh, absolutely. And I don't even think cancellation's a good thing. Like, if people own their shit,
yeah,
it's that simple. But I'm not surprised that someone came in here and is saying this stuff. And it might be Mallory, actually. It's not about canceling her. I'm trying to hold her accountable for what she did to me, which she knows is wrong. This is obvious. My situation is one of those that you go, ooh, that's shitty, and she should apologize. That's the situation for me. You went and publicly named her and are trying to cancel her. She publicly named us.
Yeah.
And we are not trying to cancel her. And go back and watch it from the beginning. Yes, I've seen it. I very much disagree with your assessment. This is mean girl behavior to her. Then get off our channels. Because with logic, it's not mean girl behavior. And you obviously don't care about other people's stories, what other people go through, and the mean things and the terrible things that she's done to people. Get off the channel. Go talk to your friend Mallory. And leave us alone. Leave us alone. Our story said, leave us alone.
Yeah. Same.
And now that I said the story about what happened with me in the past few months, those two people are likely going to talk more about it and react more about it. Even though it was Mallory's story, because they're going to think it's about them. It's not about you two if you're watching. Leave me alone too. Jesus.
Yeah.
And by the way, if you want to say something, say it with your chest. Show your face and your name. I think it's pretty simple.
Yeah. Same.
I'm tired. It's.
I think it was important for us to share our experiences though publicly. I know that we were trying to do everything that we could to just kind of move forward, but I feel like and I'll just speak for myself, I feel like by me not sharing my experience, I feel like it just caused other people to be hurt, and so I take full ownership and apologize to anybody because of that. You know, that sucks. That's not a fun feeling.
Wait, what did you say? I was reading.
I just wish we would have spoken up.
Yeah,
because maybe other people wouldn't have been hurt like they have been.
And I think about that like all the time, you know, because from the beginning I had a bad feeling, but it's like, what would I look like if I spoke up about it when everyone thought she was great, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, what can we do about it? Nothing.
Yeah.
It's not our responsibility to tell someone if they're being shitty when they're a 36-year-old adult. It's just not. That's on them. My therapist has told me I need to stop momming people. Because I did that my whole childhood. I mommed my own parents. I was the mom. Love you, mom and dad. Don't worry. We're good. Fist bump. But I did, and I can't do it anymore. I wish I could send you pics of my kitty right now. That would show you. My cute ass dogs are sitting over there on the couch. Oh, Iris's ears, like
they're waiting for you to come lay with them.
Yeah, if you're confused about what's going on, don't worry. You will be able to watch this once we're finished. You can actually go back right now and start from the beginning. Yeah, so if you joined in now, I'm sure you're confused or like midway. Please just go back to the beginning, I swear. Yeah.
Should I stop calling you and Aaron mom? Emily, you're awesome.
Now the haters are gonna use that I mommed my parents during my trauma years when I was growing up. Yeah. Yeah, it's
and again, I feel like it's important. Like we're not doing this because we want, you know, you to go unfollow her or unsubscribe from her channel.
I don't care,
that has nothing to do with this. Care. I would never tell anybody to do that. I know JJ would never tell anybody to, you know, to do that. That's not what this is about. This is just, if you're going to name us, we're going to tell the whole story because we have been doing kind of our own thing. We both did a live just sharing our story with our members.
Like individually, just me sharing my story and Erin sharing her story for our members only, and now we put it together because it crosses over within each other.
Yeah.
And this is all like this year's been very traumatic for me. So having Erin here to help me, when I disassociate or something, or when I can't remember something, is very helpful.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Samantha. That's super kind of you.
I don't think.
Yeah, I think that Peggy, I really love this. You guys deserve some closure. I feel like this is closure for us because we haven't shared our story publicly. And I don't know. We both said yesterday we were going to do another late night live last night. And, we've been talking back and forth. Do we really want to do this? How do we want to do this? And, I think this is closure for JJ and I, honestly, at least a little bit.
Yeah.
Keeps us calm.
I'm just really tired of shit. Like, I was talking to my therapist because she's like my homie G. Love her to death. And, she was like, maybe you need to take time off of social media or like Instagram or something. And I was like, maybe. Like, I'll keep posting my like YouTube stuff, but it's one of those things like I don't feel safe. She was like, what can you do to make yourself feel safe when you feel like a certain way that I was telling her about? And I was like, I don't know, because people keep being crazy on social media, and I just can't deal with it very well right now when it's been happening for so long, and I'm trying to make it through school and all that stuff. So I don't know, maybe I won't take a break from Instagram and stuff. Maybe I won't. Who knows? It depends on how everything goes. But like, I just wish people would leave me alone. Just leave me alone. Like, I shared my story. Sharing my story is not bad. If you don't like what was said, then get over it, because it's my story. It's what happened to me. It's plain and simple. It really is.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to take a break from YouTube or doing my stuff like that, because she doesn't get that. She doesn't get that. She doesn't get me to pause. So, and
if you decide to take a break from Instagram, you're allowed to do that.
Yeah, and I want to do my YouTube stuff. I love my YouTube stuff.
Mental health above everything else, period.
Yeah. I'm just tired, and I shared my piece, and that's it. So.
Yep.
That's all I got.
So, thank you guys for being here and for all of your amazing comments. We appreciate you. Again, this is not something that we wanted to do, but I felt like it was necessary to tell the whole story. And I'm glad we did.
Story naps for all.
Yeah, definitely taking a nap today, for sure. I don't have a whole lot planned today. Probably a lot of FaceTimes, JJ.
Yeah.
I'm planning on playing video games today.
Me too.
And,
play The Sims.
Yes. And we just thank you guys for being here. We appreciate you, and I don't even know what else to say. Don't join an MLM. Like, what?
Yeah, just leave us alone. Not the good people. The people who won't leave us alone. Just leave us alone.
Yeah.
We're just doing our thing. They love our reactions, and that's why it's not going to happen anymore. This is me saying my piece.
Yeah.
Now, if Mallory says some shit, I'll talk again if I have to. But about my whole situation earlier this year, like I said it the other day, like, I'm just not responding to it. I'm not talking about it. I'll let my lawyer deal with it if I need to, since it started back up. And that stuff isn't Mallory, by the way.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. It is overwhelming for people who don't. Hi, Rachel. If you just joined, just watch the beginning, because we're almost over. We're almost done. It's very hard to talk about.
Yeah, and if you're just hopping on, you definitely missed a lot. Just go back to the beginning.
Yeah, I would go back to the beginning and just watch it. I'm sorry. I know y'all would rather hear it from us live, but you know. Yeah. So, yeah. Just, I don't even know what to say. I guess just
Same.
Leave me the hell alone if you're mean and want to try to ruin my life. And for all of those that aren't like that, much appreciated. We appreciate you. We appreciate all the love in the comments and stuff. And like, there was only like one person that probably was Mallory, maybe not, but who knows. And that's it. So I don't even know.
And I think it's also important that we stop using the word drama, if at all possible, because I think that is kind of a cop-out, in my opinion, for not addressing difficult situations and behavior.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree.
We love you guys.
Sorry, they're mowing, so I think we need to hop off now because they're going to be here for a bit. Julie Lystad's on. Hi, I love you.
I love you, Julie.
Oh, thank you all so much, and have an amazing day. See y'all party people in the Discord. Yeah, if you're members, see you in the Discord.
Yeah.
Oh, holy crap. There you go. Michael, you're amazing too, pal. We just appreciate y'all. And we're going to get off because we're tired. We didn't want to do this. And we have the rest of our Saturday to live. So, okay. Bye, everybody. See you later.
Bye, guys.